What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's your boy Chan with the Let's Talk podcast. I got your boy Savon Bolton in the building with me. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
How's your day so far?
Shit, it's been a little all over the place, but man, I'm just happy to be free.
Be
So,
free. Oh,
yeah,
you was locked up?
yeah, yeah. I was
Oh,
down for the 7th to yesterday.
well, you was down. What happened? You was down for what happened?
Man, some stuff from the past that ain't happened got got put up on my name. So when somebody that wasn't supposed to be around me came to my house, cops got called. We both went down for it.
Oh,
So
yeah, both went down.
both went down.
Okay. Now, you see, I had your wife Tamia Bolton on my podcast last week. Did you tune in? Did you see some things that she was saying, or did you agree with it, or
I ain't too that. I try to not even be invested in anything that she got going on.
okay, you don't pay attention to nothing she got going on?
Not at all.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So now, how is it with y'all being separated? Like, how's life with y'all being separated?
It's something to get used to. It's not because I was planning on spending my life with this person, so we've been together since high school. I mean, I had other females before that, but this is like my real serious relationship.
Now, how old was you
So
when y'all got together?
I was what, like 15.
You was 15,
I was 15. So
and how were you when you got married to her?
18. The day after I turned 18.
Really?
Yeah.
You knew that's what you wanted, or you?
She asked me to get married, and I said, yeah. I mean, it was never in my plans to get married, like at all, because marriage is a scam for men. But
Now, why you say that?
because it's institutional, like whenever, like marriage is a contract first and foremost. Whenever you get married, the government is in your business, whether that's tax wise or whether that's like the way that the laws are provided. Whenever you get like a divorce, so it's like while I don't think anything's wrong with marriage, like traditionally, if you want to get married, do that. But prenups always have to get signed. And me, I just was too lazy to go do all that, all that work to get one. So I just went ahead and did it. But my divorce, whenever I get it, will be amicable, amicable. So I won't have to worry about any of that anyway. We gonna come in with what we left. I mean, we gonna leave out what we came in with. So but for anybody else, you can't control how somebody gonna change if they're gonna be a vindictive person. So get you a prenup because it's for the female. It's not for you.
Okay, so now, did you know this at the age of 19, or
Yeah,
did?
I knew this for a minute. I've always been pretty knowledgeable. It's just it's one thing to have knowledge and it's another thing that I do nothing with it. So
I
I
agree.
knew it. I just I was just too lazy to to put it to use.
Okay, so now, what's the reason you guys broke up? What's the cause of it?
Can't really pinpoint on one thing. I mean, if I had to say like the final straw that broke the camel's back is when like she kept calling the cops on me. And it's like, I be seeing posts like, once the cops get involved, the relationship over. And I be like, well, it depends. Like, did you deserve to get the cops called on you? And in every instance, it's like, I don't deserve to get the cops called on me. I don't abuse you. I don't abuse my kids. I'm not a bad person. I'm not neglectful. It's just you know that you can, so you do. And if something don't go your way, then you know that you can spin the narrative in a way where it's like they'll have to believe you first, and then I'll have to prove that it didn't happen later. You know, and she been doing this for so long that now the courts is like, ain't no more chances with y'all. Like we done throwing it out. We done giving y'all slaps on the wrist. Something gotta happen. And I'm like, yeah, if that's the case, let me get away from this person because she's trying to ruin my life, and I don't want my life to get ruined. I got too many goals. I got too much ambition.
Okay, what's some goals that you guys planned? What's some goals you guys set for yourself?
First and foremost, I want to be an engineer. You
You be
know,
engineer, okay. Now,
yeah,
are you going to school for it, or do you plan on
yeah.
going to school for it?
I'm in college right now. I got
Okay.
a year left.
Oh, that's so. What
So
college you go to?
Northland.
Okay.
So I'm an electrical engineer major, and you know, like over the course since I like had kids, I've been doing like all types of training programs and certificate programs, getting all types of merit certifications, stuff like that I need. So once I get my degree, we come out with the chance to make 70K, just starting. I'll come out with all of my degrees and my certifications, um my OSHA 10, and
Okay.
I'll be somewhere in the 80K range just starting. And then engineers, we can make it all the way past the 100K mark,
Right.
and it don't even take that long, like 2 5 years in, and you already making that. You just got to just prove yourself. So I mean, I'm trying to make that money because I got 5 kids. It's a lot to take care of. On top of me, whoever I get with in the future, that's 5 pairs of clothes, shoes, hobbies that they're gonna be trying to do, activities they're gonna want, just to get them a lifestyle that they gonna like be able to prosper in. I
Yeah.
need a career that's gonna give me that type of money.
Right.
And then, my plan was after I get that, I could use the money that I make from working to fund, continue to fund my business that I got, my For People by People, which is my sound engineering studio. And then after that I could just, do what I actually want to do, which is just make music, and do other people's music. So
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's good. And how old is you?
I'm 22 right now.
You're very wise and very smart. You got a good head on your shoulders. You got everything planned out on how you want to move. That's dope. That's raw. That's sweet. A lot
Appreciate
of
that.
22 years don't even know a lot of things you're saying. So now you're 22 with 5 kids.
Hmm.
How is that? How is that life for being a 22-year-old with 5 kids? How old were you when you first started having kids?
I was 16 when my son was born.
You were 16 years old. Did you
Yeah.
feel as though you was ready?
Yeah. I mean, I got a little brother and sister. My brother was born when I was 6. My sister was born when I was 10. So I've been raising kids for a minute. Like I ain't been having to like set up the paperwork for them to go to school and like take them here and take them there. But like I already knew what it was like to change diapers, feed them, burp them, put them down for naps. Hold them. Don't drop them on their head, hold their neck like this. So it's like I've been around babies my whole life, and I love kids. So me having a kid, it wasn't nothing that I couldn't take care of. It's just a little bit more paperwork now. And then having them back to back to back, it's actually easier that way because instead of spacing them out and having to like, get yourself out of that, baby mode and into like, preschooler age or high schooler age, now you get to, and then having to reset, you get to get them all out the way at the same time. And people think that it's hard, but not really if you set it up a certain way. Like for example, hand me downs is a thing. My son turned 5, I buy him some raw clothes. After that, my other son turned 5, I give him those clothes. It's not like they're coming from a stranger, they're coming from your own brother. After that, if I see something that that I think gonna fit your identity, your personality more, I'll buy you something extra to go with that. But I don't have to waste unnecessary money in areas that you know I shouldn't have to, because these are just children. They're gonna grow out of their clothes. They're gonna all share the same toys. They all share the same room. The girls got their own room, but the boys share their own room. They all got the same TV. They sleep in the same queen size bed. So like it's not as hard as you think it is, as long as you just budget yourself like appropriately.
Okay, now do you have a good support system?
I don't, but she does. My support system is there when it needs to be. Like just regular people stuff, life. Sometimes people can get you, like help you, other times they can't. So, my support system is, there as long as they got it. But her support system is there 24/7, which made life a lot easier. So it's a lot of stuff that I didn't have to do because they was able to step in and help with that. And because of that, I was able to spend a lot more time with my kids than I wouldn't have been able to, which is why I allowed it to go on for so long. Because people was telling me, "Oh, don't you think they involved a little too much? Don't you think they just want to be in your business, this, that, and the third?" And I'm like, it's okay, because this her family. If they want to be involved, they can be involved. If they want to have their nose in our business, we young. Of course they're gonna want their nose in our business. They think we gonna crash and burn. They want to be there in case something go wrong. So I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with that, because people say it take a village. The family is the village. Whatever you can't do, you should be able to extend to your brother or your cousin or your grandparents, and they should be able to help you. I'm like, the society that we live in, where you grow up with your brother and your sister, and then y'all move out, and all of a sudden y'all just don't talk in 5 years. That's a foreign concept to me. That just don't make sense. It's supposed to be so y'all all help each other. Like it shouldn't be a situation where you don't know your cousins, like some stuff like that.
I agree.
So it's like, when they like, if the family want to get involved, of course your family can get involved. They your family, and when you marry somebody, you take on a family. So I'm like, it should be nothing wrong with them wanting to get in the business, help out with this, share that, put this in their name. I put this in, like, just stuff like that, helping avoid the system. The same thing that white people, Asian people, Bengali people been doing for years.
Okay. No, it's true. Now, who has custody of the kids now? Like,
Right now, the grandparents got custody.
which parents? Your parents, or
Her
her parents,
grandparents, yeah,
or her
cause
grandparents?
her grandparents, not her parents, but her
Or her
grandparents.
grandparents? Okay.
Cause
Now, do you still get to see your kids, or
yeah, I get we get supervised visitations, just nothing overnight. It's not how I want it, and like it's a situation that I never seen myself having to be in since I've been a great dad they entire life. But it's like I rather it be like that and get it documented and out the way than try to sneak and then get something even worse happening. Because my kids gonna be the ones to suffer, not me. They gonna be
right?
the ones that's getting separated in foster care and this, that, and the third. So I'm not even trying to walk on eggshells. I'll stay all the way over there, and I'll have to sacrifice seeing y'all for a little bit. That way I can just see y'all for the rest of your life. Miss out on a little bit to make up for the rest.
Okay, so let's get back to when you said you were 16. You knew how to raise kids. You've been raising kids.
Mm.
So, raising kids and taking care of the kids, is that the same thing to you? Being responsible for them, like you said you were 16. Were you able to deal with being able to go to the hospital if they got bruises? Were you able to deal with, when they got a cold, staying up all night? Like at 16, how
Mhm.
did it affect your youth? Did it affect your youth? You wasn't able to do what you want to do?
It's a
Because it was
it's yeah,
16, 17, 18,
yeah, I feel what
19,
you're
20,
saying.
right?
It's a great area because like I had a good childhood per se. It was when I was a teenager that things got pretty like turbulent, you know.
Uh-huh.
So like it was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do that I didn't get to do because I would have to
As if
take,
in what? Like what?
like like go here or go there or like go to a party or go to some game at school or just be in the streets, and I couldn't do that because I had to take my brother with me. So
Okay.
it's a bunch of times where it's like a girl was like, "Yo, you should come over," or my people was just like, "Yo, we should go to the mall," and I can't do none of that because I gotta stay home, my brother and sister, because my dad doing something and my mom at work. So it's
So, how was your parents involved in your life? Like, were they always there? Because you basically saying you had to take care of your little brother and sister. So, like, were they already there, or did they just leave them as your responsibility, your brother and sister?
nah, they was there. I mean, don't get me wrong, they did what they had to do. They picked them up from school, took them to school. They, would get off, like take off days at work so they could take them to the hospital, stuff like that. So like, when it came to outside the house stuff, they did all that. It's just that when it came to inside the stuff house, I mean inside the house stuff, that's what I cared about because inside the house is when, now I'm locked down because, I'm only out the house when I'm going to school. And then I
Okay.
gotta come home and I don't get to have my life because I got to stay here with them because they too young to do anything
Now,
that I
was it
want to
because you
do.
chose to, or you were told
I
to?
was told to.
You were told to.
I didn't really
Okay.
have a choice or like that. Now which is why I ended up like getting to the point where I'm like maybe I do want a kid because basically
You
my
feel like
story.
you knew you had it because you took care of your brother and sister, right? So you
Not
feel like
even
at the
that.
age
Like
of
it
six.
wasn't even like the confidence of it. It was more like desperation. Like, cause don't get me wrong, I'm saying my people's right now. I love my mom to death. I love my family to death. But it's just like everybody make mistakes. So it's like for me, I always like I don't have it no more. I'm able to get a real good control on it. But back in the day, I had real bad depression.
Okay.
So like being trapped, not being able to do anything, and then slowly and then being a real smart kid and knowing what's going on around me, like I was never an ignorant kid. So I can pick up on the arguing that my parents was doing, the fighting, the this, that, and the third. I was involved in stuff that I shouldn't have had to, witness and be around. So due to that, it's like once I grew up and then like she finally left my dad and got with a new dude, I like it's like I've been telling her to leave my dad for a minute, like ever since I was a kid.
Okay.
But she never did because just like me, she wanted her family to work. But it's like when she finally got enough, I was like coming into the prime of my life. Like it was no bitch I couldn't get. I was a popular nigga in high school. I was, like I was doing chess, I was doing cooking, I was doing choir, I was doing basketball, I was trying out for football. Like I was on the top of the world. I was at my peak. And then the second that, I'm actually doing this and I'm starting to get more freedom because my brother and sister getting a little older, she going to daycare now, CAO,
Okay.
getting watched and getting smarter. And my brother, he, staying at after school activities and stuff like that. So now I get, a couple more hours to extend myself and do stuff. Like right as this freedom that I'm finally getting is coming,
Hmm.
she had enough of my dad and left. And then everything coming down around me. Cause like she left my dad. Like my mom always been the worker.
Okay.
So when she left my dad, she left him with everything. So he had a mom, fantastic woman. Like I'm talking smart as hell. Nobody ever had nothing bad to say about her. Saved up every dime she had since high school, college, all of that. Bought a house. First thing she did when she graduated. Customized the house exactly how she wanted it. Had built-in Verizon Wi-Fi in the ground. Everything.
Okay.
Fantastic neighborhood right off of Davidson, quiet neighborhood, block party, like everything that you could ever want as a kid. Whole wall full of mirrors. People coming to my house like, God damn, you live like this. And
Really?
I'm like, yeah, on the outside looking in, it's great, ain't it? But she left him with all that. So when she left the house, we ain't had no mortgage. It was just, bills, your water, your sewage, your garbage collection, your light and gas, just regular stuff. But he ain't had no job. And whenever he did get a job, it wasn't paying enough. So eventually stuff just stopped working. Like eventually I use the bathroom, the toilet don't flush no more.
Okay.
Eventually I go to get some water, the water not turning on. I try to, come home, charge my phone, the electricity going, the lights don't work no more. It's starting to get winter, the heat go off. And I'm like, damn, like, how did it get like this? I feel like I'm living in a 1600 castle. Like, like, yeah, it's big, it's
So
nice
it
and
went
shit.
from being up to
Right. I'm like, yeah, like it's nice and everything. It looked pretty, but by the time it hit 5 o'clock, you can't even tell. You ain't nothing in here work. So I'm like, after that, I called my mom one day. I'm like, yo, he can't take care of us. So
oh, so your mother. Okay, so
my
let me get this
mother's the one
straight.
that left.
Your mother's the one that left,
Yeah,
and she left you with your dad.
yeah, she left us with our dad
Okay.
because she had to, because when you
Is
start
that when you had
over,
to step up and take care of your brother and sister, or
that's
always
when I
been?
had to do more than I was doing before.
Okay.
Like way more than I was doing before.
Okay.
That's when, I had to do other stuff, like out the house stuff that, was keeping us eating.
And how were you? How old were you when you were doing that?
That was when I was probably about 14, transitioning into 15.
14 turning into 15.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that was back then. But like I said, I was in my like I was in my prime back then. I was always bigger than everybody else, sharper than everybody else. Everybody knew who I was, so it wasn't hard for me to do the things that I needed to do to get you know around.
So
To
you feel like you're above your time. You were ahead of your time.
I
Because you
definitely
said you
was.
was in your prime back then. I mean, do you still feel like you're in your prime? You're 22.
I mean, because when I say prime, I mean like peak, as in like right now. Like right now, I'm like this is as good as it gets for the situation that I'm in. So right now, I would not consider myself in my peak. I mean, things are going okay, they're going steady, but with all the stuff I got going on right now, I can't, as a man, look at myself and say you're doing good because I'm not. I'm doing decent. I'm trying to survive right now. I'm in survival mode. So, once I graduate from high school, from college, and once, this family court thing gets solved, and once my charges get dropped, then I'll be able to say, now I'm back in my peak because now I'm 23 making 85K a year. Yeah, I got my own house, I got my own car, I got custody of my kids. Like it ain't shit you can tell me. I'm living better than 40, 50 year olds. Like, you know? So then I'll be able to look at myself and be like, yeah, I'm back to my peak.
Okay, so now what's the process of you being able to get your kids back? Like, do you have things you have to accomplish first to get your kids back? Do you have to get a house, a job? Do you have a job right now?
Not right now.
No.
Just, college student full time.
Or just college student. Okay. So how
Yeah.
are you taking care of yourself?
Student loans, financial aid, stuff like that. Cause I wouldn't advise anybody to take out student loans, especially if you're just trying to get like a business major or like a liberal arts degree. But I'm balancing in between a trade and a degree. So the field that I'm in, I'll be able to make enough money to pay back my thing like in a year or two. But other people, it takes them 20, 30 years because they just getting a regular 60K, 50K a year job. But my job, that's a little, you could die at any second. That's why you get paid so much money to do what you do, because you're playing with, you know, you're playing with fire. But the only difference is you can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't feel it. And if you do feel it, you die. So, you know, because of that, I get paid a lot of money, and I'll be able to pay back those loans that I took out. So that's why I did it. I tend not to do anything unless I do a bunch of extensive research. I'm writing stuff down. I'm thinking real hard about plan A, B, C, stuff like that. But I would not advise anybody just to take out a loan if you
Now I got a question for you. Do you have a mentor? Do you have somebody that mentor you, or you just doing this all on your own?
I do it on my own. I mean, I got people that reach out and give me advice and stuff like that. But
How do you take it in? How do you take advice in? Like counseling? How do you take all this in?
I could take advice. It's just um I'm fluid with it. Like it's not like you're not gonna throw it at me and it's just gonna stick. Like you could tell me something, and if I put it in my back pocket, and if I need it, I'll go back to what you said. But I tend to think that I got it. That I can handle it. I've been doing it for this long. I'll continue to do it for however long. But that's always just been me. But that's because of my experience. The things that I think and the way that I move, it tends to work. The only mistake that I made is the person who I chose to give my life to. That's probably the only mistake that I made in my life. Other than that, and even then, she gave me 5 kids, and I love my kids to death. So even then, it's a silver lining in that. So even then, that's not too bad of a mistake. I mean, to me, she messing with me, but my kids are still fine. So that's always the blessing. So even then, I try not to linger on things. I try not to have too many negative emotions because it's just stuff that you can't fix. So you better off just not wasting your time on it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you definitely don't need to waste your time on mistakes that you made or the past. Like I said, you were 18 years old. 16 years old when you had your first child, and
Right.
did you have an employment then at that time or no?
Yeah, I've always had jobs. It's just that I'm a firm believer in not doing what you don't want to do. As in, don't give your time away if you're not getting adequately treated. Like, because time is one thing that we can't get back. I don't care if I'm sore. My body will eventually stop aching. I don't care if I'm hungry. I'll eventually eat. I don't care if I'm tired. I'll eventually sleep. But if I'm working in conditions where you're making it harder for me than you should because I'm just a number, or I'm not getting paid for the amount of work that I'm doing, I'm not gonna do it. I don't
Right,
care what's on the
right.
line. I'm not gonna do it because you're not gonna sit here and treat me like I'm not human, which is why I want this degree, and I want to be in a position where I'm not expendable. When you look at me, you have to know my name. You can't just call me over. You need to know who Savon Bolton is. You need to get on a first name basis with me because I'm
Last
the
name,
person that's
last
gonna
name,
like on a last name
last
basis with
name.
me because I'm the one that's gonna make your stuff work. Without me, you will have to call somebody else and hope that they can do it. It's not gonna just be you fired and I go get somebody else who know how to push a cart. Like,
Right.
like respect is a real it's my number one thing. My number one thing.
Now, you said you knew how to raise a kid when you were 16. I'm really staying right there. Reason why is because you said you were 16,
Mhm.
you were ready for kids, right?
Yeah.
You were ready for a wife at 18. Now, do you feel like you had the maturity, experience, and responsibility to take care of your kids and your wife?
Yeah, absolutely. Cause I've always been an old soul. I always been like I've never been like the clown in the group. I've always been the mature one, the one that people don't even want to really hang around with or like that because I don't want to do what they want to do. Like even now, I got friends that I love to death.
Also, you
Like
said the maturity.
yeah, like even now, I got friends that I love to death, but we don't hang out at all because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't club. All the stuff that y'all find fun because y'all young, I despise. Like get that weed away from
Well,
me.
we can't say that because it's older people that drink, smoke, club, and
Yeah,
they have their own house, their cars, they take care of their
yeah,
kids,
that's true.
they're responsible.
Yeah, I'm
So
not knocking nobody that do it.
we not gonna say maturity is based off what you do for fun.
Oh yeah, of course.
What is your maturity based off? Like you
My
feel you was
maturity,
mature enough to take care of your wife and your kids?
yeah. I mean,
See,
to me,
here's the thing. It's a difference from being mature and having the experience.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You got to go through things in life to understand it. Like you could say, "Hey, don't touch the hot stove,"
exactly.
but some people still might want to touch the hot stove just to see what it do,
Yeah,
but they'll never touch it again. But
exactly.
it always wonder in the back of your mind, like, what did that hot stove feel like? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So experience and maturity is two different things.
yeah, definitely.
So you feel as though you was mature. Let's go back to that. I mean,
Yeah, cause
my opinion,
nah, I feel what you're
this
saying.
is my
Cause
opinion.
like,
This is my opinion. It doesn't really count. It
nah,
doesn't
I
matter.
feel the same way as
You know what I'm
you.
saying?
It's
At the
just
age of
that
16,
I got a different word for it. Like that's all. But I understand what you're saying.
right.
It's just to me, maturity is doing the right thing. Like maturity is basically synonymous with integrity to me, and that just means doing the right thing when nobody has to force you to do it. And that's what maturity is for me. Like for example, I tell like all the youngins that's growing up, like like yo, stay in school. If you're in school, do what you fucking supposed to do. You're supposed to be there mandatorily. You cannot not go to school. You have to go to school by law. You could be homeschooled, all of that, but you cannot not go to school. They're gonna force you to go. So if you have to be there, at least learn. Why be there and make everybody else miserable? Why be there and disrespect the teacher? If you're gonna be there, absorb some knowledge. Like you ain't got no choice. You're there for 8 hours a day. Learn something. You know. So to me, maturity is just doing the right thing. Like it ain't no reason to,
So
go
did you
through life
graduate?
and do the wrong thing.
Did you graduate high school?
Yeah, I graduated.
Okay, what school you go to?
I went to Homestead.
Homestead. Okay, that's what's up. Man. At least you
Yeah.
graduated. Yeah, you're very knowledgeable. You're very knowledgeable. Now, you into me a relationship. The things that y'all was posting,
Hmm.
were you okay with it?
Not at all. I was I was okay with it back when cause she got famous because she posted some dresses and she asked, hey, I'm going to homecoming. Which one of these dresses should I wear? And for some reason that went viral. I don't know if they didn't like the style of the dresses. I don't know if they thought that she was being sarcastic, but we went to an actual, clothing spot off Broadway and we went to go, try on some joints and she just wanted some honest feedback. And after that, it took off in Florida. And then that's when everything started happening and she got that attention and that clout and it was a high to her. And after that, we started doing a little bit more things. Like we did the swap clothes challenge, we really pioneered that. So that was cool. And we just did just a little wholesome, funny, cute stuff. And that I liked. I doing that every now and then was fine. But it's when she found out that people like drama more than they like a wholesome family because everybody has drama, but not everybody has the accomplishments that you have, and they feel less when they see you posting all of your stuff.
Right.
And what people be forgetting is that Facebook is like any other social media. It
Right.
is fake. You put up stuff that you want people to see, and you could edit and remove and not post anything that you don't want them to see.
Right.
We have fights just like anybody else. We have disagreements like anybody else. We have times where we don't do stuff that you think is cool. We have times we walking around looking bummy around the house. We not always like the pictures that y'all see. We not always, hugging and going to the mall and being all lovey dovey. Like that's just it's a pipe dream.
Right.
It's not that's not real. But you can't tell people that. So when those likes started to die down, and then the drama started to pile up.
She was talking about this last week too. She was saying that people like drama, and she was doing everything for the views and the likes.
Mhm.
So how did it affect you? Like, what made you move away from it?
At
'Cause
first,
you had the porn site going. How did you feel about that?
I didn't care about that. I thought I was, but when they when my joint was popping off and everybody was like, "Yo, your joint got leaked," I didn't care. I thought I was gonna care, but I didn't. I'm like, huh. At first, I'm thinking, man, this is terrible, and then I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that I got exposed for having sex with my baby mother
Your
online?
wife?
I don't think we was married at the
Oh,
time,
you were married. Okay, you just
but
had another one recently, right? Or that's an old one
that
that got leaked a couple weeks ago.
that was old.
That was
But
old.
she just decided to put it up for some reason. I can't tell you why she did it, but she did.
Okay.
But I'm like, maybe if this was just some random girl that I was outside got caught, but nah, this is my wife,
This is
or
your wife,
my this
exactly.
is my wife. we having sex in our house in our bed, and she decided to put it up, see if she could profit off of it.
And you was okay with that?
Yeah, and I'm like,
Were you
I'm
okay with
fine.
that?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm
So
fine
now
with
let's
that.
go back to what you said when you were 16. You was mature. Now is that maturity?
Depends on what you define as maturity.
I mean, I'm just saying, is that maturity your wife exposing y'all for some likes?
No, that's not mature.
That's not
No,
maturity.
that's not mature.
Right, right. So, you did you get paid off of it?
Not as much as you think. We got paid off of it, but it's like anything else. Like you need views, ads, this, that, and the third. It's a whole process, and we didn't make as much as she would have liked. But which is why I pretty much just stopped it. I'm like, if it's not bringing in that much value, why keep doing it?
So now did you think about hey, I got kids. They're gonna see this growing up one day. I know you heard this question plenty
Yeah,
of
I
times.
heard that a lot of times.
So
It depends on what it was. Like when it comes to the porn, no, I don't care if you eventually stumble across a video of your mom and dad doing something. I mean, how you think you got here? You gonna see millions of porn in your life. You might mess around and stumble across me. Turn it off. Turn you turn it off. That's all I can tell you. Turn it off and go to a different video.
what about when they're in school and other kids talk about y'all? Like say give me a child name. Give me one of your kids' name.
What am I? My oldest kid is Kevin.
Kevin. Okay, say I'm Kevin friend in school.
Hmm.
Oh mom, my friend name is Kevin Bolton. And then Bolton, what's their mother and father name? They was doing this, they was doing that. Now that kid can make fun of your kid because of what y'all got exposed for doing in y'all prime.
Hmm.
When y'all wasn't even fully mature, developed yet.
That's
Like
true.
you get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's called a generational curse. What don't affect you may affect your kid.
That's always true. Hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, the sins
So
of the
it's
father
about
affect the
you
child.
thinking before you do.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? It's not always about the Facebook likes. It's not always about the views. It's not even always about the money.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? There's many ways to make money. You just said you wanted to be an engineer.
Yeah.
So why didn't you as a man tell your wife we not gonna do the social media because you're the man. She took your last name.
Hmm.
You post we not gonna do the social media. This is the way we're gonna go about it.
Yeah, I did. The problem is being a man don't mean shit no more. It's not a man's world no more. When I told her stop posting something and she continued to post stuff, I stopped paying her phone bill. And she hopped on her grandma's phone bill. Now I can't turn your phone off. I had no power there no more. So I started taking her phone. And then she called the cops on me and they said, don't take her phone. That's a felony. Take her phone again, you're going to jail. So now I can't confiscate her phone. So now that I can't stop the connection to your phone. And now that I can't stop you from doing stuff on your phone, the only thing I could do now is try to threaten to leave you. And yeah, I leave you, but eventually we get back together because is it that big of a deal? Am I willing to destroy my family over social media? This, that, and the third. Yeah, it's bad, but is it as bad as I'm making it out to be? Stuff like that. So it's like you think it'd be as simple as just telling your girl to stop, but
You absolutely not.
when you have
Absolutely not.
mental health issues, it's not that simple because
Okay.
you trying to tell somebody something logical and they can't hear you. They
Okay.
hear what you're saying, but they can't process it, and then they're gonna flip it back on you to make you seem like you the problem. And after that, now you arguing because you know you're not the problem, but you
Right.
can't make this person like feel like they the problem. So now you had a disagreement, you going back and forth, and now you don't want to be with her,
Okay.
and then it just like, and after that happens, year after year after year, and now this person come in a mix or this, thing happened, like now it's just like, and then you trace it back to the source, and it's all because you don't want to listen. Like that's what it comes down to. You don't want to listen. Like now, nah, like now it's nothing that you can do. I just don't want to be with you no more.
Right.
You know.
So you learn from that. Like, do you feel like y'all will possibly get back together in the future, or
I say it
because she
like
has a plan
this.
too? She want to be a cook. Did you know that?
She going to culinary school.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah,
So it is
so
hope for y'all still.
I wouldn't say it's hope, but I say it like this: if this, if all this stuff gets dropped, we can start talking to each other again. And by that time, because this could last for 6 months.
Okay.
So if by then she's documented, you know, like she's diagnosed with what she has, it's on papers. I can see the medication that she's prescribed. She's been taking it. I can see the noticeable change in her. Then possibly one day. But I don't know if I'll have moved on by then, if I'll have been with somebody else by then, if I'm currently with somebody else by then. Because I'll say it right now, I do not like her and I'm not in love with her. I love her as a person. I would be saddened if something happened to her, but I have no emotions for her. I don't,
Okay.
we're not like, it's something that I'm like, we will probably never get back together again. But that's okay because it's not about me and you, it's about the children.
Right.
Now, the only thing is, are you going to be the mom that they need without me being there to make you be a good parent? Because that's the thing. It's real easy to be a good parent and to sit there and post on Facebook all day when for the past 5, 6 years, I made you a stay at home mom and you don't have to do nothing. Because I do the bills and the mortgage. I mean, and not mortgage, but the bills and the rent. And I come home and I cook dinner and then I wash the dishes and then I take out the trash and then I sweep and mop. Like, you don't have nothing to do but breastfeed and change diapers because I'm just an active dude. I don't like to not do stuff. I don't like mess. I don't trust people doing stuff that I know I could do. So I just prefer me to do it. And from me being Superman for all these years, she got complacent and she felt like she didn't need to do anything anymore.
Mhm.
So so Ty having mental health issues with the way that she was raised, not feeling like she ever had to do nothing, and then getting with a man that basically, you know, drove that into her head too, because like she grew up with a silver spoon in her mouth, not having to do nothing, come from money, don't have to worry about where your next meal coming from, if your phone bill ever gonna get turned off, if the lights ever gonna go out, if you don't want to clean, you don't have to, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. So getting with a man and he basically doing the same thing, like not for the same reasons. It's not because I don't want you to, it's just because you've been spending your whole life not doing it. So you don't know what you're doing. And instead of sitting here teaching you, I'd rather just, I'd rather me do the dishes than you do them. And now I got to eat off a dirty plate, stuff like that.
So, did you want to teach her, or did you not want to teach her? Not, did she want to learn, or she just
There you go. Now you asking the right
like
question.
did she
Now
want to
you
learn?
asking the right question. I tried to teach her, but she a person that just didn't want to learn. I done had
Okay,
her stand
okay,
behind me and look at, how I use, like how I wash the dishes, what, like how hot the water should be, what to use, what you should be scrubbing with, stuff like that. But it's just when you lazy, you don't want to do anything.
that's
And when
true.
you lazy, you find like you get real good at finding out how to not do things. Like you put all of that energy into being productive in the wrong ways. You just want to be counterproductive. Like instead of me getting better at doing the dishes, let me get better at figuring out how to get out of doing the dishes. So now it's like let me purposely do them wrong or do them too slow so he come in and step over.
Okay,
Because I shouldn't be having to sit here for 2 hours while you do the dishes when I can do an entire cabinet worth of dishes in 30 minutes, because the more you do something, the better you get at it. It's just that's just how life works.
yeah, that's true.
Repetition makes you better.
That's
But
true.
if you sitting here not doing it or you keep doing it wrong on purpose, it's not possible for you to get better. And I can't sit here my whole life and wait for you to get better. So it's either you gonna be the woman that I need you to be, or I'm going to leave you and get a better one. Because like I said before, a relationship is not just relationship, it is a partnership. It is a business transaction. I'm providing you this stuff because you are providing me this stuff. Once you stop providing stuff on your end, like any business transaction, it will fail. You're not going to want to do business no more.
I agree.
Like that's just what it is. You can
I
try to
agree.
say, "Oh, y'all have kids together," or "Oh, y'all been together for so long." It don't matter.
I
In the
agree.
end, all we have is two things: we have our money that we have to use to survive, and we have our time. And once you run out of both of those things, you either broke or you're dead. So
I
I'd rather not
100%
spend
agree
my
with you.
entire time trying to build up all of this money just to fork it over to a person that's not doing what she's supposed to do to be earning this money. And then by the time that I finally get my head on straight and I take off the rose tinted glasses, I'm 60. I don't already lived my whole life with her. I look back, I ain't got no good memories. I'm just miserable. I got out while at the best possible time that I could.
Right now, when you was telling her this, did she try to get better, or she just continued to, like you said, make it worse?
She would do your classic telltale narcissistic things. She would at first try to defend, then after I try to leave, then she would recant. Then after she recants, it would be like a week grace period where she's doing what she's supposed to do, around the house, in the bedroom for the kids. And then after that, it would slowly but surely die down. It always starts off slow, like, hey, can you help me with this? And then that help turns into, before you even know it, you just doing it now. Or hey, I'm tired. I've been doing this, for a long time. I'm starting to get used to it. I'm not used to this yet. Can you do this? And now you doing that again. And before you know it, it's like, when did this happen? And then if you like catch the signs, then you try to call them out on it. Now you feel like an asshole because you like, yeah, you are right. You've been doing this for 7 days straight. You're not
Right.
used to it. Obviously, you're gonna be burnt out. Yeah, let me help you. But their recovery period is just some seeing how long they can get over on you. And then after that, the cycle repeats itself. And it's very toxic.
Yeah, I agree. Now with social media, how do it the social media affect you guys? Like, do you read comments or anything like that, or pay attention to things people say about you, or how does it affect you?
That's a layered question. At first, like I said, when we was just posting cute stuff or funny stuff, it would affect me when it was like,
The
hey,
negative stuff, talking about the
yeah,
negative
like
comments,
the
like
negative stuff would affect me back then, because it's like somebody would say, hey, she looks slow. And I'm like, why? Because she wears glasses? Or hey, y'all look alike. Are y'all sure y'all not family? No, we're not fucking family. I'm sorry that we just happen to both have chinky eyes. Like it happens. I had that in my blood. With
right,
her situation, I don't know, but I know what I got. I know what I got. But it's
right,
like, like, so that type of stuff, or people would just simply not like her. And at first, I didn't understand why, because when I first met her, like, she was quiet. She didn't talk to nobody. She didn't do nothing. She didn't open her mouth. She would just laugh all the time. And at first, I just thought, well, she's happy. That's what happens when your parents did it the right way. You have not a worry in the world. You don't have to struggle like the rest of us. Why would you not be happy? Well, you have no reason to not be happy every day. And I'm like, that's how a person should be when they're raised right. But now I understand that it was a defense mechanism. You laugh because you don't know how to process any other emotion. So you laugh, you know, and we discovered that later on. And if I would have known that back then, I could have either tried to, diagnose that quick, or I could have stepped away from the whole thing, way earlier. But
mhm,
knowing me and my personality, I would have tried to help, because I'm just a helpful person. I extend myself too much. But you know, those comments in the beginning, they would affect me. And then as time went on, I would find myself getting into arguments for hours with people, like entire comment threads going like 52 comments, 112 comments. And I'm like, why am I arguing with a bunch of females? This is mad, zesty. This I don't like this. And then I stopped using Facebook all like that. And if you go to my page now, all I talk about is, I'll talk about anime, or I'll share a meme. I'll share some pictures of food I made because I like to cook.
right.
But now I don't pay it much mind, and I tend to not even comment back, because I know people gonna try to talk to me, and I don't want to talk to y'all.
Right.
So
You focus.
that's
Focus, yeah.
pretty much what it comes down to. I don't, even though I'm a people person, I
Okay.
tend not to be as outgoing as I was before, because it's like I figure all the people that I met in life, like around the hood, around the place that I'm at, like that, it's at a good number. I don't need to meet no more people in the same area as me. Now, if I'm meeting people, it needs to be the right people.
Okay, right,
Like
right.
it's no point in extending myself to, a friend of a friend, or a family member of a friend. Like, we all in the same bubble. If I'm going to make any more friends, it needs to be somebody that I could, aim to, somebody who I
Grow
can get,
from. You can
yeah,
learn. You
somebody
got a
that
network.
whose circle I can get into,
Right, to grow,
get
yeah.
into.
Somebody can push you and motivate you. Absolutely, I
Hmm.
agree with you. Well, it sounds like you got your head on, man. That's good, man. You just gotta remain focused. You gotta push yourself, don't allow no distractions, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get the job done, you know what I'm saying? Whatever comes your way, try to avoid by all costs,
Hmm.
because the devil working, and sometimes our decisions could set us back for a lifetime.
Exactly.
Some decisions we make could set us back from a lifetime. So you gotta just stay focused, like you said, you wanna be an engineer.
Hmm.
So you wanna do all this by 23.
I'm trying to, because I'll graduate before I even turn
When your
23.
birthday?
August 8th.
August what?
August 8th.
August 8th? Okay.
Yeah.
So you wanna do all this before August 8th.
I will have graduated before August. And by the time that I get a job, since like we had these networking fairs and we
Okay.
go around, basically like, Northland is real organized, like real meticulous on everything. So they have these color coded sheets, because we only do three things. We do CNC machinist, that's a 1 year program, welding and electrical, and that's
Okay.
both 2 year programs. So they'll color code each of the three, and then they'll, label, whatever companies is looking for what. So I'll go to green because that's what electrical is, and I'll see all the companies that's labeled under green. I'll
Okay.
go and I'll talk to each one of them, give them my resume, take their card, talk to them, sell myself, shake their hand, all the stuff that you're supposed to do. And I have, you know, a bunch of people that's like, the second you graduate, let us know. Send us your application. We'll have it sitting. And when you graduate, we look at people immediately. I got people that's, working in green energy. And I'm very passionate in green energy because it's the thing that's going to keep us on Earth the longest. Renewable energy source, clean energy, green energy, something that we can keep on using that's not burning carbon, that's not taking up fuel emissions. That's the way of the future. No ozone
Okay.
pollution, no this, then the third, just nice, clean, self-renewable energy. That's what I'm most passionate in. And I
Okay.
got people like that. I got people that work with spacecrafts. I got people that travel all over the world and fix massive generators. I got an extensive list of people
Oh, so you're connected already. Okay,
yes,
you did
with
your networking
their
already. Oh, that's
cards
what's
in my
up. That's what's
wallet
up.
right now,
Oh, that's
the
what's up.
companies that I want to work with, and these is lifetime commitments. Like this is like once you get in here, you stay in here. It don't matter if you got to come in here as a janitor. Do whatever you got to do to get in here, and you stay here for life.
Right.
So these are the companies that it's like I don't want no, no drama. I
Right.
don't I don't want you if you have this crazy baby mom that's gonna be showing up here or that's gonna be trying to drop kids off in the middle of your work shift or that's gonna be, tagging you and all this stuff on Facebook. I don't wanna because they check social media now. They
Okay.
check your profiles. And it's like I don't want none of this stuff tied to me. Like I'm trying to work for places where like you gotta wear a suit every day.
Right.
Like I
Okay.
don't have time for them to look at me and now they like, well, you act this way, she act that way. So either you make horrible decisions that I don't want you to make at my company, or you might be putting on a front. You might not really act like this. You might act like that. And I don't want like, stuff like that. And it's
Okay.
like I don't need your negative anything around me. I don't need your energy. I don't need the way that you hold yourself. I don't need the way that you carry yourself. I need I need simply just Savon right now. Just Savon because Savon is gonna make sure that him and his kids are good. If you want to spend your life trying to live the teenagehood that you missed out on and you want to try to party now and try drinking and smoking and not doing stuff that you're supposed to do that. But leave me and the kids out of it. Because at the end of the day, between me and you, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna get these children right. So just let me do that. If you don't want the lifestyle that I promised you, my fault, then just walk away from it. But don't try to drag me out of it now because you think that I'm gonna give it to somebody else who is gonna deserve it. That's not fair to me. That's not fair to the kids. It's extremely disingenuous.
Right. I agree with you. Well, we about to end this podcast. Any closing remarks you want to say to the people, at your age 16 growing up and what you know and what you didn't know?
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's always somebody after you
Hmm.
that may need to
Definitely.
receive the message
Yep.
on how not to make the same mistakes.
Okay. Um, I got a few things. I already got some people out there that I like to think that I mentored. They didn't hit me up personally and told me that I definitely made an impact in their life. I was definitely, even though we was only a year apart, I was a father figure, an older brother figure that they did not have, and that I kept them on the right path. So, for those people, I appreciate that. I like the fact that you didn't let our age, our similarities cloud the fact that I was telling you the right things and just do what you got to do because y'all know me. I will never stop grinding. Y'all know my confidence. I'm always trying to be better than everybody that I meet. And that's not because I'm trying to do it for myself. I'm trying to do it so y'all have something to get to. Because if I'm the best and you surpass me, what that make you? So that's first and foremost. Secondly, anybody that's in any legal trouble, whether that be order protections, this, that, and the third, just stay away. Whatever you think is worth it, it's not worth it. It don't matter if she's throwing the box at you. It don't matter if she's trying to use your kids as leverage. It don't matter if she's trying to, say, oh, well, it's just for a second. I need help. Or if I do this or if I do that, will you come? Or what if we just go somewhere public? It don't matter. If anytime that she get mad, if anytime that somebody see y'all out and they want to snitch, they can do that. You will always be caught holding the bag. It's always better to stay away, and it's always best to be around people that can alibi for you and vouch for you, because it's a he said, she said case if they cannot prove that you were there. So make sure that you protect yourself first and foremost. It don't matter how much you love whoever is in the crossfire, protect yourself, because you can't protect nobody else if you're not good. Make sure your own shoes is tied first. And then, lastly, um, just anybody who I run into in the streets, all the children, you know, I'm gonna just keep doing what I've been doing with y'all. We gonna play basketball. I'm gonna still be going up to McCarthy, Delaware, stuff like that. Y'all can keep trying to beat me on the court. All
So
that
you good at
stuff like that.
basketball?
I'm fantastic at basketball.
Oh man, we gotta play one on
I'm,
one.
I'm great at basketball.
How
I'm
tall
not
is
gonna
you?
lie to you. I'm 5'6".
Are you
I'm
5'6"?
5'6", and I'm the best small. I'm the best small nigga you ever
What position
played.
you play?
I'm shooting guard all
Shooting
day.
guard. Okay, yeah,
all
we gonna
day.
play then this summer. Come this summer,
I
bring
bet.
back my old skills. You know what I'm saying?
Bet that's gonna be fun.
I got the MVP in the NBA. I played for the Lakers. Me and Kobe played at the same time. Let me stop. Rest in peace, Kobe, man.
Right, rest in peace to the GOAT, man.
Yeah, for real. Nah, but finish though. I ain't want to cut you off. Finish saying with your closing remarks. Man.
Yeah, but man, all the youngins, we gonna keep on getting up. We gonna keep on playing. Like I told y'all, keep them drugs out your system. Not while you still growing. If you want to make that decision when you grown and your body develop, go ahead and do that. But don't stunt your growth. Don't mess up your system. Don't knock off that chemical imbalance. Keep them guns out your hand. I know we in situations where we feel like we need them, but trust me, you better off not having it. I promise you, you're gonna thank me later. Because once you make that decision, you can't come back from it. And
what about for self-defense?
For self-defense,
I'm sorry, it's not a self-defense state, but
yeah, I'm like, for one, you gotta know where you live. We do not live in a stand your ground state, unfortunately. So be careful with that. And
what about the incident? What happened with Tops? I feel like everybody. I'm against what you said. I feel like everybody need their pistol.
Everybody, yes,
just don't use it for no reason.
But I'm talking about just. I know people that's like, yo,
illegally.
Yeah, that's like, yo, my stepdad done hit my mom. I need that piece. Like stuff like that. It's like, I know what you want to do, but you can't do that.
That's true.
You just can't. You think that you're saving her, but now she done lost the dude and her son locked up for, man, who knows how long they gonna try to throw the book at you when you
never act off emotions.
Exactly. That's
never act off emotions. I agree with you.
That's gonna get you. So just don't worry. You gonna turn 18 soon enough, and after that, life is yours. Anything that you want to do once you hit that legal age, boy, it's all for you. Or girl, it's all for you.
That's facts. So we gonna end it like this, man. I want to end it with I appreciate you for coming on the show. Thank you, man. You seem very wise. You seem very smart, man. You got a good head on your shoulders, man. You got to just stay focused. I'm gonna tell you what I tell everybody: stay committed, consistent, dedicated, and be determined. And sometimes in life you gotta sacrifice. Well, most times in life you gotta sacrifice.
Right.
But just always remain focused, man. I believe in you. You got this, man. And you need help. Tune into Let's Talk podcast. I definitely don't mind helping.
Right.
But it's not gonna be broadcast or what I do for people. I don't broadcast or hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real shit.
I don't mind helping. But we also got a community cares outreach program. If you like to donate hats, scarves, gloves, masks, socks, community cares outreach program. Her name is Nita. You can reach out to her, donate for her. This is her 3rd year annual. Start from December 1st to December 22nd. Hats, scarves, gloves, whatever. She'll be on a podcast sometime in January to talk more about it. Thank everybody for tuning in to Let's Talk Podcast. Thank you for coming on.
Yep, thank y'all for having me. Thank y'all for watching.
Peace. The biggest. It's over.
That was cool.
Yeah, it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't really trying to. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the motherfuckers.
I ain't mind on that new Ario though.
Yeah, I had some good podcasts, man.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I'm not gonna front, I liked her. You know, she has some good energy. But it was her comment section that was doing it for me.
Yeah, the comment section be
The
crazy.
comment section, man, that joint was.
That's why I wasn't reading no comments.
They talk a little. They want to know shit they ain't had no business asking.
Yeah, that's what I ain't want to read now. No comments on it was probably crazy too. I'm like, hell,
I don't look at them joints when I get home. I'm like, man, why would now what would make you type some shit like that on Facebook?
I'm like, I can't get into these. I said, I can't get into these damn comments. I need to throw myself off reading them comments. You might see it.